I'm just noticing now that somehow when I wore my hair in a braid overnight, that half of my hair is wavy and the other half is almost entirely straight. Like how? You know what? Actually, no, this is good because now I have options. See? Look at this. Straight hair, boom. Hair's all curly. You don't know the difference. It's all behind here. Hello everyone, I'm here today to share with you guys my best and worst makeup launches that have launched recently, say like summer, late spring, and I have here a big pile of makeup of products that I have been testing out for a while now, and I wanted to share with you the absolute best of the best and the ones that just did not work at all for me. I hope you guys like this video, and if you do, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And without further ado, let's get into this. So first, I guess I should probably share with you guys the product that I have been talking about nonstop for the last like month and a half or so. I hadn't been able to talk about it until today, so I'm finally excited to share with you guys. It is Wowder, which is a finishing powder by the brand Glossier. Glossier is sponsoring this video to celebrate the launch of the powder finally, so I'm going to talk you guys through it if you missed last Thursday's video where I talked a little bit more about the product, but this is the final packaging so you guys can see, super pretty and pink and girly. I love it. It is a fantastic powder. It does not settle into creases. I have it on my skin right now. It has been by far one of my favorite setting powders that I have worn as of recently. It is a beautiful, beautiful product, guys. It settles down nicely. It gives you this beautiful, flawless look. It doesn't cake, it doesn't crease, it stays put all day, it mattifies without giving you that really dry, cakey-like finish. I've been using it with a velour puff, and that's what I have been using. So this one is by Sephora, but I know there's one by Laura Mercier, I believe. That's how I have been dipping it in. I talked about the packaging as well in the last week's video as well, but they have this little mesh in here, so it's gonna prevent any excess powder to kind of like getting everywhere, which I hate about some packages. I just can't stand it. So this makes it a lot easier. You just get out what you need and you're not going to make a big mess. But this has been a fantastic powder. Highly recommend it. Check out the link below in case you guys are interested, but this has been a favorite of mine. Next up, I want to talk about some lip products because I have a lot of lip product favorites here today. Some not so much, but a lot. I don't know what it was, but in the last like 3 months, a ton of lip products have launched. And these are by Bare Minerals, and they are their liquid lipsticks. They're matte ones, and oh my goodness, these are beautiful. I would say they are long wearing, but not transfer proof. Like they stay put fairly well through a meal, but they're not going to be like completely budge proof in any way, but they feel like nothing on the lips, but that they're super pigmented. I am in love with this formula. It is very, very lightweight, but it doesn't feel really drying. I'm dropping things everywhere. It doesn't feel really drying on the lips, so I really like them for that purpose, but I did separate out. I wanted to share with you guys my favorite colors, which was really tough. There are a lot of colors. These are probably my favorites of the bunch. So I thought I would swatch them all for you so you can kind of see what they look like. So first off, my favorite nude shade is in the shade Flawless. It is a beautiful, Your Lips But Better, slightly cool tone, pinky nude shade. It just looks stunning on the lips. I love this one. For dark but still really vibrant colors, I'm really loving OMG as well as Shameless. These are both very pretty. One's more of a purpley undertone, a little bit more berry, and the other one is a bright fuchsia. And then lastly is this classic, it's called VIP Red shade. It is so incredibly flattering on the lips. The only thing I will say about this product, as it would with any matte lipstick, is that you need to make sure that your lips are well hydrated and exfoliated, because otherwise they're going to show every little dry spot and speck on your lips. So that is really, really important, but the formula is incredible. These are beautiful, beautiful lip products. Next up are some lashes, and if you've been watching my videos for a while, you probably already know what they are because I haven't talked about lashes in, you know, since I started my channel. But these have really impressed me. They're by Huda Beauty, and they are the Camille Easy Lash. These are a new launch within their whole lash system, and these are great because they're half lash. They are very voluminous and over the top, so that's something to keep in mind. And the band is relatively on the thicker side, which I personally like better because I find them easier to manipulate and put onto the lash line. But you may find that you want to put a little bit of black liner just to make sure everything is very smooth and cohesive. I haven't had to do that every time. I did that today, but I don't think it's totally necessary. But these don't feel like you have like big furry animals on your face. They're very easy to wear, and I am in love with them. Next up are some lip pencils, and these are probably one of the best formula-wise lip pencils I have ever tried. They are incredible. They are from the drugstore, and they are by L'Oreal, and they are their Color Riche Matte Sharpenable Lip Liners. These are so ridiculously creamy and pigmented. They glide onto the lips like nobody's business. I love them. They pair well with any lipstick that I have worn them with. They're very easy to use. They don't smudge, they don't break off, and they're not too soft but not too hard. It's just that perfect middle line. I think these are amazing, amazing lip liners. Highly recommend them. Next up is a new concealer, and this is a relatively new concealer for me, but I keep reaching for it over and over every single time that I want to wear concealer. I'm wearing it on my eyes right now. Again, from the drugstore. This is by L'Oreal. It is their Infallible Pro Glow Concealer. You guys know I love that foundation. It's such a beautiful foundation. Medium coverage, but gives a nice soft glow to the skin. It's not too matte, it's not too glowy, it's that perfect in between. But I don't know what it is about these. I feel like these are almost more full coverage. Not full coverage, but medium full, and they cover up my dark circles really well. They blend seamlessly into the skin. I love the amount of product that comes out on the actual applicator itself. It's a much thinner applicator, like one of these sponge ones that are really thin, but you get a lot of product because it's flatter and longer, like this wider, I guess. And I think the color is a great match for me. I'm using 01, by the way, which is classic ivory, and these have been incredible. I love them and I highly recommend them. Next up is an eyeshadow palette. This is one that I've talked about in a couple of videos. It is by Tarte, and it is their Clay Play Face Shaping Palette. It is for contour, eyes, as well as brows, and I just keep reaching for these. I think they're such beautiful shades, all matte, very creamy and buttery. They smell really good, and there's just a great shade range to choose from. There's warmer tones, cooler tones. I find like I use them all for the eyes. I use mostly this one for contour, and it's just a really good quality palette. I find it blends out really easily for myself, and I just have been really enjoying it and reaching for it a lot. I'm excited. There's so many good products, and I'm gonna continue on that train with some products by NARS. These are their Pro Matte Liquid Lipsticks. These are phenomenal. Oh my goodness. I actually tested them out in a video. I'll put in the cards for you guys. I did a whole like first impression video using one of these colors, and it just glided onto the lips so smoothly. The pigmentation was there. They were matte, but they weren't too matte. They were long wearing. They weren't budge proof or smudge proof, but they were long wearing for me. And these are probably my favorite shades out of all of them. They have a huge range of very neutral undertones. Not a lot of bright colors out there, colors which I feel is more in vibe with the whole NARS brand anyway. So I love Save the Queen, which is more of a pinky tone mauve, as well as Just What I Needed, American Woman, which is just like my lips but better, almost a shade. I really like it. A little bit more pink, very pretty. Get It On, which is another, it's very similar, I would say, to Just What I Needed, but a little bit lighter. Again, very flattering on the lips, really pretty shade. And then the last one is Give It Up, which is again a bright fuchsia shade. This one in particular though, it really intrigued me because it has almost more of a purple undertone. So I remember I put it on and I was like, oh, well, this is nice. Just felt a little bit different than any of the other fuchsia shades that I have talked about before, so I wanted to include it. Really pretty one. The formula is great. If you get a chance to go into a Sephora and swatch a whole bunch of them, I highly recommend it. They're really pretty. Next up is an eyebrow gel. This is by Pretty Vulgar. It is their Rising Arc one. This is in the shade Twisted Tail. I just keep reaching for this. I think it is a great gel. It is pigmented without being too over the top. It's easy to work with, and I find it's a really good shade match for my brows, and it does a really good job. It stays put, it is waterproof, and I have just been really enjoying this as a brow product. Next up is another line of lip products. This time we have it from the drugstore. These are by Maybelline, and this is their Super Stay Matte Inks. And when I first tested these out, I wasn't really sure because I felt like, oh, they're a little bit tacky almost on the lips, but as I wore it throughout the day, oh my goodness, the longevity, people. These do not budge off of your lips through meals, through anything at all. These just stay put. They don't smear, they don't smudge, they don't clump or break off or flake off or pill in any way. So I will absolutely put up with like a little bit of tackiness, not like sticky, but like just a little bit, just feeling like they're there for that, and they don't feel super dry. And I think that's why they feel a little bit tacky, because they have that little bit of moisturizer in it, so you don't feel like, you know, the product is like sucking all of the life out of your lips. My favorite shades are probably Dreamer, which is a nice pale pinky nude, Escapist, which is a darker plum tone, Believer, and then Pioneer, gorgeous statement red shade. These are one of the most long-lasting lip colors from the drugstore I have ever tried, and I think they are great. If you can deal with that little bit of tackiness, the long wear payoff is phenomenal. Okay, 2 more products I want to share with you guys. One is from the drugstore. It is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Mascara. This is like more into spring than summer really, but I wanted to mention it because it is such a nice drugstore mascara. It is one of my favorites. It gives beautiful volume to the lashes. I will put a link to the card so you guys can see the side-by-side where I compared this to the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, because I mean the packaging is very similar and the wand is very similar, but this is so much better in my personal opinion, so you guys can see what that looks like. But this has been like my go-to everyday kind of really voluminous lashes, but not like over the top like my YSL The Shock mascara. But yes, I just wanted to talk about it because I really love it. And the last best product I wanted to talk about is by Tarte, and it is their Twinkle Stick Highlighter. You guys have seen, if you watch my other videos, that I talk about this product a lot and I use it a lot. I think it is a great highlight. Not only just by itself, I think it gives a beautiful glowiness that's more on the dewy end because it's more of like a stick gel-like formula. The color is gorgeous, by the way, as well. If you are out there and you have a lighter skin tone, just finding something that works, isn't too yellow undertoned, isn't too pink undertoned, this is a really pretty one. But I will also layer it, so I'll use this, I'll blend it out a little bit more, and then I'll put a powder on top, and that just adds that extra like wow factor. It's very easy to blend out. I will use it basically all over. I'll use it in the inner corners, on the cupid's bow, down the bridge of the nose, on the cheekbones, everywhere. I think it is a really great quality product, and I've had a lot of success with it. And now onto the products that I didn't so much love. They just did not work for me. I did not enjoy them, etc., etc. First, I want to talk about this e.l.f. Primer Mist. I've talked about this a lot negatively recently. Sorry, e.l.f. But I wanted to mention it in this video because the spray on this thing is out of control, people. It is so aggressive. Like, that is not a fine spray at all. It is super intense. I didn't find like it added a lot of longevity to my makeup, and I didn't really want to go the extra mile to make it work because it didn't add that much more longevity than any other primer would. So overall, this just didn't do it for me. I wasn't super impressed with it. Next up is a product by CoverGirl. This is their Katy Kat Pearl Shadow and Highlighter. And this is in the shade Tiger Rose, but I've also tried another one which is more of a golden shade, and I just didn't like it. The formula was either glittery or too hard, and it didn't show up very well. I was just expecting something to be more moussey and glide on beautifully, and I just didn't get that from this. And yeah, if I was gonna go this shadow route from CoverGirl, their palettes, their nude palettes, phenomenal. These wasn't so impressed with. Next up is a product by Tarte, and this is their Gleam Team Highlighter. This is their liquid and cream duo. I just didn't see a lot of color payoff from these. I tried to layer them together. I tried to just kind of put them on by themselves, and they just didn't do it for me, especially having tried so many other highlights from Tarte that just work so incredibly well, that this just didn't do it for me. I wasn't super impressed with the formula. It felt very glittery, especially this liquid one on this end. It was just like straight up Toddlers and Tiara glitter. I did not like it at all. For more like buyer buys on the products that I really liked and didn't like from Tarte, I will put up on the screen. I did a whole buyer buy on the Tarte brand, but this is one of the products that I mentioned. I just didn't love it. Next are some lip products. These are by Revlon. They are their Ultra HD Matte Metallic Lip Colors, and I did not like these at all. There wasn't even a part of them that I really enjoyed. They weren't very pigmented. They weren't really matte, and they weren't really metallic. I don't know what to say. From Revlon, I just think there are better products out there, and this wasn't one of them for me. Another product I got from Sephora that I didn't really love is by Pretty Vulgar. It is their Pretty Birdie eyeshadow palette. This is a kind of colorful palette. It has some neutral shades as well as some bright pops of color. And I tested it out, and honestly, I just found like the color pigmentation, that saturated color, especially for these bright ones, it wasn't there for me at all. I really liked Ego and Free. These two shades right here are gorgeous on the eyes, really pigmented and metallic, but everything else just kind of missed the mark for me. I tried using some Fix Plus to make it really pigmented, and that just didn't really do it for me. I just wasn't overly impressed. I like their other one, their natural palette, much better. I think it's like Morning Bird or something. They have like a whole bird theme. But this one just wasn't super exciting. I don't see myself reaching for it, and yeah, I think there are better options out there. Next up is another lip product. This is by CoverGirl, and it is their Melting Pout Gel Liquid Lipstick. I tried these so many different ways, and I just didn't like how they felt on the lips. It was almost like, I get it, it's like a gel liquid lipstick, it's something unique and different, but I felt there was so much slip on it that I was constantly worried that there was lipstick on my teeth and that it was just gonna, I don't know, just move at all, which I didn't find really like around the outside of the mouth, but I did find a lot was going up on my teeth, which I just didn't love. I didn't like how it felt. It felt very goopy almost, and I don't know. I just wasn't super excited to wear these. They just didn't work that well for me. Next up is a waterproof eyeliner from e.l.f., which didn't end up being waterproof, like really at all. But the primary reason that I didn't love this product is that it took forever to dry, and when you're trying to do like a winged liner look or just line your eyes in general, you kind of want it to be almost instantaneous in drying time, and this just took forever. So when I was trying to go over top of it or smoke out any eyeshadow that just needed a little bit of tweaking, it would just like blend into everything. It would just ruin the whole look, and yeah, I just overall didn't love this. And the last product, which is a lip product, is by L'Oreal. It is their Infallible Paints Metallic. I didn't not love the rest of the line. Does that make sense? Did not love? Yeah, no, that's right. But this shade in particular, I did not love. It is in Galactic Foil. It was very sparkly, which I personally don't really love on my lips. I wanted something to have that metallic foiled look, but without the sparkle. And so I found the other shades that I tried really had that foiled look really come through, and it looked beautiful. This one was just too glittery for me. I didn't so much love it, and so I would pass on this one myself personally. And that's everything for this video. I hope you guys found it helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and leave a comment down below if you guys have any video requests for the future. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And that's everything. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful week so far, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Love you girls. Mwah.